In the past, we've been offered the red pill. You buy heaters and heat each tank individually, running the risk of electrocuting your fish, or perhaps even worse, deep frying. Or you took the blue pill. You heat the room, everything's cozy, until your boiler breaks and everything goes down. All I'm offering is the green pill, an alternative from Ali. Take the green pill and let's see how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Sorry, are you still talking then?
Fish tank, run the plumbing training module. I know plumbing. Show me. So on this one, guys, we're going to try and come up with a better way to heat these, our aquariums. So like I said before, we've been offered two in the past, using heaters or heating a room. But now I'm going to try something different. I'm going to try and make a central heating system that uses one pump, one heater to heat the lot, keeping the electricity out of the tank. So the plan is to run a central heating system to all the tanks and run it off this hot tub pump. Now if you've had a hot tub in the past, you'll know that hot tubs have got a very reliable control system when it comes to heating. It also comes with a lock, so you can lock it, stop them little fingers from touching it and putting them up or down. And it also, if you've had one, you'll know that if it blocks, it beeps very loudly, as I found out a few times through the night when the filter got blocked. I had to run downstairs and quickly switch it off so I didn't annoy the neighbours. So that's what we're going to do. Now I know a lot of you are going to be saying straight away towards that this is way overpowered. And yes, you're right, this is way overpowered. But this is just a concept, remember. So let's get some tools and materials together and let's see if we can make this work. Fingers crossed. So I'm going to make it out of just things I've got lying around from other projects that I've had in the past. So I've got the hot tub pump, yeah. I've got a hot tub cleaner that's got two bulkheads on 90s. All I've done is basically spun them round so I can have it in different directions on that. Got a tank head fitting just because I need to connect that to that. So I've got that, yeah. Just because I need the threaded side, that's all. And I had that lying around. A couple of elbows, something to tighten that on. So I just use these water pump pliers. I think you call them channel locks in other countries. And a method of cutting some pipe. That's all I'm going to use to try and make this done. So what I'm going to try and do is make a loop that goes from this, from the hopper, down into the tank, back up, into the hopper, where this will be kept at the temperature that I set by that. Hopefully that will be enough to heat the tank, that tank. Oh, and some of this, some solvent weld to glue the pipe together.
How did you do that? You moved like they do.
So this is basically it. Got the hot tub with the heater and the pump. Got the hopper that I'll fill from the top. So it should come from here, into here, round there, up through the system, back into the system, heat up. As long as I keep this topped up, should be fine. I've only dry fitted everything because obviously I don't want to waste the fittings if it doesn't work. So I haven't glued them. Now, if I was to extend this and do it properly, what I would do is I would take it down one side of the tank, across the bottom under the substrate, back up the other, and use the substrate as like a sand battery to retain some heat. And also that would be good for your beneficial bacteria to have that at a warmer temperature. So that's what I would do if I was doing it for a single tank. If I was going to do this on a multi-tank system, I would probably put on every upload just to get rid of vapor lock. No, not sorry, vapor lock, air lock. I would probably put an air valve in, and then I could bleed the system like you do with a radiator system and a central heating system. I could bleed the system by having little air valves on each one of these at the top, just to drain the air out of all the system to make it run more efficiently. And if that didn't work, I could always put an air line in the deepest end to help pull the water through, if you know what I mean. So let's fill this system. But before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the temperature down, try and drop the temperature of the water down to about 24 degrees. Don't want to go too far because I don't want to jeopardize the fish's health because of an experiment. So what I'll do is I'll drop it down to about 24 degrees. I'll set this at 28 degrees. I'll come back in a couple of hours and see if it's actually helped raise the water from 22 back up to 28ish. So after trying to fix the leak a couple of times, as you do with all stuff, the seals had went, it's time to switch it on. So I'm going to set it at 30 degrees on, and there we go. So we'll just leave this now to see if we can get the water and the temperature to equalize. Very simple method. Obviously these wouldn't be white, I would paint them green or paint them whatever colour the background was. And as I said before, I'd run it under the substrate. I haven't glued them, so I am expecting some leaks, so we'll keep an eye on it. It'll come back every now and again. I've turned the heater off, and we're just going to see if it maintains the temperature in the tank. Doesn't matter what it says on here, because that's the temperature in the hopper. It isn't the temperature of the tank. We're going to have to get a little thermometer out and double check. I'll give you a quick look at the control panel. The water I've just put in there is a different temperature. It was probably about 35, 36 degrees. Obviously to kickstart it because I didn't want to have it on. If I was going to do this system, I would recommend use distilled water. If you use distilled water, you're not going to get the calcium build up. You're not going to have to do as much maintenance on this. As you can see, once it reaches the temperature goes off to green, and you're only really using the hot tub pump as a circulating pump. Next, all I have to do is take a temperature of the tank as it stands now, come back in a few hours time and see if there's been any drop and has this been able to raise it or maintain it. Right, so let's do the initial testing of the temperature. 26.8. So to make this system work coefficiently, what we have to do is we have to try and align with three sources of heat transfer. We've got radiation, with convection, and with conduction. Probably all working at the same time in this system. Now allowing for your diminishing energy, which always happens no matter what, whether it's sun all the way down, you always get that diminution. This is probably going to diminish a lot faster. So what we might have to do is we might have to set the hot tub pump at 40 to maintain a certain kind of temperature within the tank. Not really too sure what that will be at the minute, but when you go to fish shops, you'll find that all fish shops have the same kind of heater in every tank, and some have 2 heaters in. Now the reason behind that is because all these heaters are cheap heater that is preset to 25 degrees or 22 degrees, whatever. And then when they need an extra bit of heat, you put an extra heater in, turn that one up, and they use the other one as the backup, just in case it goes down. Redundancies. you always got to plan redundancies. So that's what I would do on this system if I was going to do it. I would probably leave all the heaters in the tanks, but set them at what the minimum is for the fish's health. So it's been 5 hours now. Let's say temperature reading. 27 degrees. So to try and make this work more efficiently, the more pipe you have in the water, the better it's going to work. You drop it down, go along there and up there. The more surface area that's in the water, better it will work. But that's pretty good. That's 27, and I've got the hot tub set at 37. So I'm happy with that. So the system in principle has actually worked. Whether it's applicable to you in your fish room is another thing you're going to have to take into consideration. Now this is something that I have thought about for some time, and I'll put a little clip in of when I've actually mentioned it. I think it was in my live stream, my very first live stream a couple of years ago. And I also tried to sell the idea a couple of months earlier to that live stream, I believe, to Graham from Aquarium Adventures. When he first built Mega Tank and he was looking for a heat source, he done a live stream and I suggested a hot tub. Now if you were going to use a hot tub on Mega Tank, it's ideal because you could actually keep the filter system and pump the water straight around the tank rather than have the central heating system, you know what I mean. So if I was looking at trying to keep a Mega Tank hot and circulating, I wouldn't go no further than this.
And if you've enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Until next time.
This year is off an old hot tub that we used to have in the decking outside. And we'll try and incorporate that into the heating system for all the tanks. Now, it's supposed to be, right back there, it's supposed to be between 1,500 watts to 6,000 watts. That's if you're using it outside. It's constantly running, trying to keep it up to 40 degrees. I'll not be keeping it up to 40 degrees, I'll probably put it on the loop with like a hot bar up there somewhere so I can keep an eye on it. Pump the water around the tanks within a tube itself to heat the tanks up. Making work. Got a couple of ideas how to make it work with an external pump to also help the pump that's in the heater pump it around. But you never know what you try, and I'm going to give it a try.
Do you think I got it? Don't think I did.